Thank you, Mike. And so some people come to me, they're like, Dave, I brought my video guy over and he only charged me $1,000. And I recorded this 30-second beautiful message that I'm going to send to everybody when they don't pick up my phone call. And I'm like, okay, I spent no money. And I just picked up my phone and went, hey, Elizabeth, how you doing? David Kurz, haven't heard from you in a long time. Hope everything's okay over there, wherever you live, blah, blah, blah. Just checking in. Let me know if me or my realtors could do anything for you guys, okay? And you hang up the phone. That's a quick video. It took me, that's like a 10-second video, right? And I send that out by text message. It's personalized. Elizabeth knows that I'm sending it to her directly, right? And then I hang up the phone, then I call Matt. And I leave him a voicemail and I send him a text message, send him a personal video. Hey, Matt, what's going on? David Kurz here, you know, so forth, so on. And I continue with my script and bam, 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 and I keep going. And people say, but Dave, I don't like the way I look on camera. That's my favorite. Dave, I don't like the way I look on camera. Newsflash, it's how you look to everybody else already. It's nothing new to it. How you look on camera is how you look in public. Saying I don't want to send a video is like saying I don't want to leave my house. I don't want anybody to see me. I don't like the way I look, right? Each one of you is beautiful. Trust me. Pick up the phone, get in front of it, say what you got to say, send it out. Dave, I didn't do my makeup. I don't care. Dave, my hair's messed up. Put on a hat. We're normal. We're normal human beings, right? We come up and we're normal. All right. So I don't want to beat that too much today. I wanted to have a conversation. So last week, we talked about reaching out to our sphere of influence, really digging in, taking the opportunity to touch single base with every single one of them, really making an effort to be in front of everybody's face. And that effort will allow us the opportunity to build the most important part of our businesses, which is relationships. Right? We can all agree that relationships trumps and powers over any lead generating system on the planet. If I have a relationship with each one of you, and I am the realtor that you know, and I continue to make a strong effort to stay in touch with each and every one of you, not only will you give me your house to sell, but you'll give me your aunts, your cousins, your mothers, your uncles, your sons, your daughters. You'll give me everybody, your sisters, your brothers. You'll give me everybody. Because I have a relationship with you that I work on building personally, and you have good experience with me. So not only do I have a good resume with you, but I also have a friendship with you. And that's critical to your growth as a real estate agent. My goal, right? So we talk about building freedom here all the time because every day is a freedom day, right? If you haven't typed it in the chat box, take an opportunity and type it in there. It's a freedom day. Every day is a freedom day, and we build it out. In order for me, my goal is to get each and every one of you to build your business and leverage it enough that it gives you the freedom that you deserve. You want to go away this weekend? Go away. You want to disappear for the summer? Disappear for the summer, without allowing it to affect your business in negative fashion. Some people leave for the summer, and guess what they do all summer? One or two things. Either the business tanks because they've been gone for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, or the entire time that they're gone, they're like this. They're in front of that computer, right? Kids are in the pool, you know, spouse is driving the boat, and they're like this. Constantly trying to keep their business alive, right? So how do we build the leverage? How do we build the freedom? Last week, we talked about having that communication with your sphere of influence. Today, I want to talk about communication, but the other side of communication. Today, I want to talk about listening. And I read some really interesting articles last week, and I was like, oh my God, I have to touch on this, right? Listening is so much more important than speaking. We all know this, right? Put your hand in the air if you believe that listening is way more important than speaking, right? Because yes, you have to be a good speaker and you have to know your value and you have to know your market and you have to know, yes, we get that. You got to know all that stuff, right? But more importantly, you have to know your client. And if you don't take a moment to shut up and listen to them, right, and just being real. And I say it like that because I want you to be in the situation and start talking over your client, trying to prove a point. And I want your brain to go, shut up and listen. Shut up and listen. Shut up, David. Listen, right? And listen, guys, this could be a challenge for some of us. It could be natural for some of us. I am a speaker. I love to speak. My challenge has always been taking the time to listen. This was something that I had to train myself to do. And then to be a coach and coach with people one-on-one and allow them the opportunity to express to me, right? Because there are coaches out there that they just pop, this is what you got to do, this is what you got to do. But everybody's different, right? And so to listen to your clients, listen to your buyers and sellers, right? So Miles Davis had a quote, right? Miles Davis said, "It is not the note that you play now that matters, it's the note that plays after." I want you to think about that for a second. There's a story where Herbie and Miles Davis were on stage. Miles Davis is playing, Herbie's playing, Herbie's on the keyboard, and Herbie hits a wrong note. And it's so bad that everyone in the crowd knew that it was the wrong note. It was that bad. It was so bad that Herbie took his hands up and actually covered his ears. And Miles Davis looked back and he had a couple choices. Miles Davis had an opportunity to look at him and say, "What the hell you do, man?" Right? All right, let's start it from the top. Let's start all over again and embarrass Herbie. Or he could have turned around and said, "What the hell's wrong with you?" Right? Or he could have kept the song going, but everybody would have known it was the wrong rhythm. You know what Miles Davis did? Think about the quote again. "It's not the note that you play now that matters, it's the note that plays after." Miles Davis heard that wrong note, and then he played a melody off of that note that made that note so right that no one in the crowd knew better. And I tell this to you because he made this mistake, and Miles had some opportunities to really set him out and put him out there. Could have killed poor Herbie's career, right? Herbie was young at the time. But Miles Davis took the opportunity to listen and respond with positivity. He heard the note. He knew it was wrong, but he still played an incredible melody after that. Listening and improvising can make you the master of your next note. Now, I wrote this down because I said, if you love negotiating and you love conversations, it is like a song. It is musical. It's like notes going off. And sometimes, you guys know it, sometimes conversations are bad and sometimes conversations are good. How the song ends and how the song makes people feel is often up to the conductor. And as a salesperson, you are the conductor. If you learn to listen more, you can learn to be present and accepting. Let's talk about that for a second. If you can listen more to what your clients are telling you, you can learn to be present in the moment, right? So many of us have that ADD going off, phones going off, computers there. Oh, but look, I brought this presentation that I need you to see, right? You're at this listing appointment. Look at my magazine, look at my promo box, right? Me, my. Or it allows you the opportunity to just listen to what they're telling you and be present in the moment. The more people tell you, by the way, the more you learn about them. The more you learn about them, the more opportunity you have to curve your presentation to them specifically. Think about that for a moment. Can I take a generic listing appointment, and can I go to my listing appointment, walk in with my box and go, boom, put it on the table and give my generic spiel? Yes, it's possible. Will I win everybody over? No. Do I have better chances of winning more people over if I walk in with my box, put it on the table, set it aside, leave them with a little bit of FOMO, and begin to ask them questions? Yes. Learn about them. Yes. Address their concerns. Yes. Deal with them directly one-on-one. Yes. Right? I can do all this. Okay. Now, when you are present and accepting, you make your clients look good. Think about that for a minute. When you're present and accepting, you make your clients look good. Okay. So what gives us an opportunity, okay, to look good for our clients, what gives us an opportunity to allow our clients to look good is to make them feel that they have brought value to the game. They have brought value to the conversation. So if you just go up there and throw up all over them and walk away, well, they feel they brought no value to the game. You walk out the door and sellers probably go, this guy has no idea what we've done to this house to prepare it for sale. He didn't even ask us. He didn't care. Because you went in there, look at my box, look at my listings, look at my stuff, right? So when you're present and accepting, you have an opportunity to make your client feel good. You make them look good. You make them feel like they brought value to the table. And now they feel like they have made a decision and they have inputted into the growth and the understanding of the agreement that you've put together. What does that mean? When they sign that listing agreement with you, they feel like they have inputted into that listing agreement. They feel important. They feel like they were a part of it. And that's where so many of us fail, right? Okay, so I want to talk to you about something. In improv, it's called yes and and. In sales, it's called, guess what? Yes and and, right? So yes, I agree to what has been said, and I add value to what has been said. So let's talk about this. Walking around the house, I'm at a listing appointment. The gentleman says, I bought this house and I ripped all the sheetrock off and I put level 5 grade sheetrock. Yes, that sounds fantastic. And I think it's going to be a huge benefit for the sale of this property. You know what? There are 2 properties down the block listed at $650. You're telling me that my house is worth $550, but I've seen those 2 properties listed at $650. So why are we not listing at $650? Yes, I agree. There are 2 properties down the block listed at $650. And yes, I have seen those properties. And I feel that they are good competitive properties. However, it's very possible that they are overpriced. Can we review the numbers together? My yes and and. Yes, I agree with the value you brought to the table, and I will continue to add value to it. What does this help you do, understanding yes and and? It helps you not get into conflict. It helps you not to disagree, right? The worst thing that you can tell somebody at a listing appointment or a buyer's consultation is that they're wrong. It's the worst thing you could do to somebody, make them feel belittled, right? We know they're wrong. House is worth $550 and they believe it's worth $60. We know they're wrong. We know they're wrong. We did the numbers. This is what we do for a living. You, Mr. Seller, sell a house every 7 or 8 years. I do this every day. But they don't want to hear that because then you're in conflict with them. And why would you want to be in conflict with somebody you are trying to work with? You don't want to be in conflict with them. So this is not blind agreement, right? This is not just being blind and agreeing with everything. It is acceptance in what they have brought to the table. An acceptance that your client has an opinion and their opinion is valid. And by giving your client their validity, again, you are bringing them up rather than making them be pushed down. Because if you force the reality, or you force, more importantly, your reality on the client, it is a power play and it can be dehumanizing. It's a power play. Again, going back to, you do this every 7 years or so, and I do this every day. I know my numbers. I have hot sheets coming into my email every day and I read them. and I follow David Kurz and Tom Ferry and Gene, Grant Cardone and this all, and I do this every day. This is what I do. Therefore, I know. That's dehumanizing, right? Would you rather go to the doctor and tell the doctor, doc, I know you're telling me this, but I read this article on WebMD, right? The internet doctor. And the article on WebMD said XBC, and it said I could take XYZ and it would help me out. The doctor looks at you and goes, no, that's ridiculous. That's not going to work. How does that make you feel? The effort, the drive, WebMD, they're never wrong, right? But if the doctor turns around and says, yes, I've read that article and I hear what you're saying, but I want you to take my advice first. And if my advice doesn't work, we'll revisit what you brought to the table. So I brought the yes and the and. And even in that phrase, I would try to rephrase it not to say but. Even there, I kind of slipped up a little bit, right? So don't force your reality on your client, even though it's reality and you know your numbers, even though it's reality, it's still your reality. It is not their reality. All right. Now, when you're able to accept your client's point of view, you have an opportunity not only to put them out where they belong as a person, as a human, but you have an opportunity to learn. Now, this is where it gets really important, because if you do this enough, you will form a bond with that client. If you do this enough, you will form a bond with that client. You have an opportunity to learn from them. They have an opportunity to learn from you. It's a two-way street, right? That client comes to you, and oftentimes, I'll ask an agent, how many listings do you have? I have 3 listings. Cool. Pick one. Okay, this one's right here, 123 Banana, listed for $600,000. Okay, tell me about it. Oh, it's a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom house with a 2-car garage, and it's on a canal. Okay, now tell me about it. Tell me about the family. Why are they selling? That happens 80% of the time, by the way. 80% of the time, agents have no idea why they're selling a house. Why? Because they didn't take an opportunity to have a conversation, create a bond, and listen. If you ask the right questions and you just shut up after the question to listen, can you imagine if I come to you and I go, Matt, what color is your hat? And you go like this to say, and I go, because it looks black to me with white letters. And many of us do that. As salespeople, many of us just spit, vomit, until somebody just goes, okay, here's the paper. Rather than creating the bond. Now this person says, well, I'm selling my house because my kids graduated and we're empty nesters. And, and then I follow up. Oh, it's wonderful. Where are your kids going to school? Well, they're going to school in X and X. Oh, that's fantastic. Where are you planning on moving to? We're going here. How big of a place are you going to move into? Oh, we're going to get a 1-bedroom condo. So let me ask you the question of the hour, just, craziness here. Where you just graduate, where will they go? What if they want to come back home? Ha, 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 they're not coming back here, right? You're building out those conversations. What am I doing there? First of all, they're going to sell the house anyway. So I'm going to get that listing. Second of all, I'm going to help them find the new place. Third of all, we're not going to look at 1-bedrooms. We'll look at 2 bedrooms because there's a possibility. There's a huge possibility that, little Miss or little Mr. college graduate might come back home for a couple months to get settled down. That's okay. And some parents are going to look at each other and go, you know what? He's right. We should get a 2-bedroom, have a guest room, right? And then they go, ha ha, he's not coming back. I go, okay, that's cool. Do you think that they might, have a family soon after that college graduation? How long have they been in college? Oh, you've been in college 3 years. Oh, so you graduate next year with the bachelor's? Yeah. Are they going to continue school after that? Yeah, they're going to be a doctor. It's great. So 2-3 more years? Yeah. So you're about 4 or 5 years away from having a grandchild, huh? Hey, slow down, David, slow down. I'm just saying, they're going to be busy doctors and you might want to spend time with your grandchild. Might be better to look at that 2-bedroom, huh? I'm bringing opinion, I'm bringing value, but I'm helping them understand the thought process behind it. But I'm also listening constantly at what they're saying. Maybe at that point they go, no, it don't matter, buddy. Listen, I'm not worried about that. They're not coming back here. And, by the time I have grandchildren, then I'll find the new place. Don't worry, Dave, you're going to be my guy. Well, if that's the response I get, then I understand them a little bit better. I'm just fishing, right? And I'm building opportunity. When your kids graduate, they're thinking about coming back here? Yeah, they are. Great. Because I am officially your family realtor. I'm just letting you know. I joke about it, but I'm not lying. I'm going to be in touch with them until those kids come back. Doctors buy nice houses. Y'all hear what I'm saying, right? I'm listening. I want to know more about this family. I want to know their intentions. I want to know their growth process. So when I come to you as my coaching student and I go, okay, cool, tell me about that listing. And you go, $600,000, 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom on a canal. It's beautiful. And I'll go, tell me about the family. And you go, well, Mr. and Mrs. Smith or Mr. and Mrs. Jones, they're selling the property because they had 2 kids. Both kids are in college already. They want to downsize. They're empty nesters. They have no pets. They want a 1-bedroom condo. And down the road, should the kids want to come back home or have children and they want to be grandparents with their grandchildren in the house more often, they're going to go ahead and sell the 1-bedroom condo and move into something a little bit bigger, maybe a small townhouse or a 2-bedroom condo. There, I know you listened. Now, I know some of y'all thinking right now, damn, I got a couple listings. I don't know shit about them. Right? Great out. Your opportunity is not dead. Also, by listening, if I come back to my guy and I go, hey, listen, $600,000 house on the canal, 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, not selling. We might have to look at adjusting the price. And they go, Dave, I don't want to adjust the price. And I go, okay, I'm just curious, how soon do you want to be in your 1-bedroom beach condo? I want to get you there. You got all this maintenance. You got all this craziness in the house. It's just the 2 of you. It's empty all the time. You guys are tired of cleaning up and all this stuff. I want to get you out of here. In order for me to get you out of here, though, I need you to look at these comparable properties that closed. And because of these comparable properties, we're getting priced out of the market. Boom, fire. You're playing because, hey, listen, we're in sales. We're playing to the tune of what they're saying and what they need. We're not doing anything out of the box. We're building on what they need because we took the time to listen. Another thing, I'll give you a little tip here. Learn how to pause and take breaks. Oftentimes, when we speak, we go on a rampage. Or in conversation, somebody says something, we immediately go back and say something. Then they say something, we immediately go back and say something. Learn how to take pauses and breaks. So if I go, hey, Cedric, this is what I think about the property. This is what I think the value is. And these are the comparables. And I take a pause and a break. And I breathe. It gives me an opportunity to think, gives them an opportunity to think. It even gives them an opportunity to pitch in. And I'm not speaking so fast that they don't get an opportunity to say something critical to you. Okay. So somebody asked me once, when is the right time to just stop and listen? And the right answer is every single time something is being said. Because you never know when that important information is going to come and be said that you're going to need for your growth. Fair enough, right? So buyers and sellers. Sellers love their homes and they love the things that they've done to their homes. And they know their value and they know what their proof is and what they provide and what their worth is. Listen to all of that and allow them the opportunity to vent it out to you. Last week, we talked about people complaining about the market. You call them up and you go, hey, what do you think's happening in the market? And they go, oh my God, I was watching Fox News, blah, 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 and the world's gonna crash. And you know, George Washington's coming back to be president. Don't worry, we're gonna be saved. Right. And so you just let them vent. Don't stop them in the middle and go, no, no, listen, this is what the numbers are saying. No, let them go. Let them go. Let them get it out. Right? Buyers, they know their affordability. They know their story. They know their vision, and they know, more importantly than anything, their dream. When somebody is buying a house, I promise you, you guys, if you own a house and you did this, even as a realtor, you were on the internet, you were looking at properties, and you could see yourself in that pool. You could see yourself in that living room. You could see yourself in that kitchen. You could see yourself at the barbecue. You see that people dream, they have visions of this shit. Don't take that away from them. Listen to what they're bringing to the table. They don't care for reality right away. You'll bring it. You'll bring the reality. They don't care for it right away. They care for it when it's their time to understand it. In the meantime, you keep giving them exactly what they want to see and the affordability that they can afford. All right, guys, any questions for me whatsoever? I'm like super hyped because as you can see, I can't stay still. I'm like, let's go. Penny says, I have a $3.4 million listing. I had a broker's open and found out that the next door neighbor was a top selling team. I mentioned to the seller that they came to the open. His response, yeah, he was after me to list for months, but that guy talks too much. Then that hit me like a ton of bricks. Boom. Penny, thanks for sharing that. That's awesome. Top selling agent. And all he did was ba, 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 me, me, me. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. Me, me, me. Look at me, look at me, look at me. I can come with my stats all the time, but my stats are in my little pamphlet that I give to clients. We have $750 million in sales. We do over $100 million a year at this point. I can say all that shit, but you know what? None of that matters until it matters. Until the client looks at you and goes, so what are your sales team numbers? And where do you market? And how do you sell? I have gone to listing appointments and never once had to talk about my marketing plan. If they don't ask, why are you bringing it up? Because you want to show off? There's no need. And people will argue that with me all the time. Well, see, but Dave, you got to tell them what you're going to do. Why? If they sign the paperwork, they believe that you will sell their property. If you listen enough and you were able to address the concerns that they had, that's what they were concerned about. But if they come to you and they say, well, how do you market a home and how do you sell a home? Then you can give your spiel. What's your sales record like? Give your spiel. Dave, I'm a new agent. I'm a new agent. And, you know, I haven't sold a lot of property, so I'm afraid to go to listing appointments. Why? Why? Practice the art of conversation. Make them feel like you're the right person for the job. Every single top agent got started somewhere. It's not like somebody was like born and then somebody gave them a certificate. Here's $100 million in sales, right? Like, it's never happened to anybody. They all had to start somewhere. And most of the time it started with mom or a cousin or something like that. One of the top agents in my team, her first 2-3 deals were family. Because we pushed it. Now she used me as leverage because she was a brand new agent. She was on the team. But it was her presentation. It was family, so they knew each other. So she was able to say, this is my plan. I quit my job. She worked for the city. I quit my job to do this full time. I'm serious about this. That's when her cousin looked at her and goes, all right, listing's yours. I want to see you do it. Not only did she sell the house, she helped her buy something new. 2 back-to-back sales, same cousin. Huge opportunity for her. Gave her confidence, made her feel like she can get it done. Now she's one of my top agents. Huge opportunities for her. She's growing like crazy. Right? So last week we talked about talking and connecting with people. This week we talked about listening, the art of listening. Next week, I think I want to get into script and dialogue with you guys. Okay. Now, this is where I get the least attendance for my classes because I'm stupid and I say things like, I'm going to call on you guys to have dialogue with me. And that's when everybody goes, screw that, I watched the recording. So I want you guys to come. I want you guys to attend next week, same time, same bat channel. We do all the same stuff. Look, somebody left already. I want you guys to jump in. And I would like to have dialogue with you guys. And we can do it both ways. I'll play buyer, I'll play realtor. I'll play seller, I'll play realtor. But I want to have dialogue with you guys, and I want you guys to feel comfortable in your dialogue. Practice with the mirror, practice with me, practice with my boy here, right? This is my practice partner, right? Okay. Practice everywhere else except for on your client. You guys feel me, right? A lot of people try to practice on their clients, which is why they go, I had 6 appointments and I only got 1 deal. That ratio has got to go up. 6 appointments, at least 5 deals. Not everyone's going to love you. We can understand that. All right, guys. See you next week. Thank you again for joining us today. The recordings are always found inside of our network, thefreedomsop.com, thefreedomsop.com. Jump in there, participate, go see all the classes. This is recorded and put in there, and every week for like the last 26 weeks is in there as well. All right, guys, y'all take care. Have a great, great, great Thursday.